Mark Topliff from Knight Frank's Rural Research Team, and I'm joined today by James Shepherd and Phoebe Hinkston, who work with a variety of corporate and institutional clients as part of their rural team's work. These clients are interested in looking at nature-based solutions in the face of significant climate change. So Phoebe, you've joined the rural team as a graduate. You were previously in the ESG team. What is it about this work which is interesting for you?
I think coming from the ESG team and joining the rural team, the kind of most exciting bit is being able to be on the ground and seeing these projects come to life.
So you two work closely together. We're here today. Tell us a bit about this project that you're working on.
So this is Places for People's estate in Gilston Park, and they are looking to develop 6 villages and 8,500 homes.
So this particular client then, do you want to explain why they brought you in to help with this particular project?
So this client needed an estate manager, a day-to-day estate manager, but also someone who could work with them on that development journey. So our work has evolved as their development objectives have crystallised and the timelines for development have come forward.
So this project requires a range of different specialisms and expertise. How does the rural team or Knight Frank's teams help with that?
This client requires a multidisciplined approach. So in an estate like this, which is actually quite diverse, you inevitably need things like building surveyors and building consultants to advise on listed properties. You may also need agri-consultants to advise on agricultural agreements. And that's where we as a business can serve that client in a joined up way.
So it's interesting to hear about how Knight Frank's involved in this development. But Phoebe, turn to you. I mean, do you want to talk us through what we see behind us here?
Yeah, so this is the early tree planting project. We worked with two main contractors to get the project together, and it was a mix of designing the project itself but also the maintenance plan, because it's great to plant the trees, but you've also got to make sure they're going to be here for the long run. So our role has been a case of getting out on the ground, having a look with the contractors themselves, and just making sure everything is as it should be, which can involve a lot of reactive work, especially last year with the drought that we had.
Absolutely. So certainly some challenges with this.
Yeah, definitely. I get, because you never know what's going to come your way, so it can be quite unpredictable at some times. But overall, it's been pretty successful. We obviously have had some tree failures which are going to happen, and they have been factored into the 5-year maintenance plan that we have in place. So it's just keeping on top of everything and making sure, for example, the tree guards are in place. We've got the deer fence going around the perimeter.
So Phoebe, do you want to explain a little bit why these trees are planted here?
Yeah, so the early tree planting project is planted here as part of the overall master plan, and it came about through James's conversations with local residents. And it's kind of a fantastic opportunity for Places for People to not only increase the natural habitat, but also get a good understanding of what the community is looking for in this space.
So that's really great. So that's increasing the biodiversity. So do you want to explain a little bit more around that then, James?
So biodiversity is one of those topics which is also getting higher up on the agenda along with climate change. The climate crisis people have said a lot about over the last few years, but the biodiversity crisis is probably going to dominate. The biodiversity crisis is resulting in legislation coming forward to tackle it. And things like biodiversity net gain, which will become mandatory from November 2023, is a topic that we're being asked to advise on now. Biodiversity crisis is real, and biodiversity net gain is one way and one tool that we as a society are looking to tackle that. Delivering a minimum increase of 10% biodiversity net gain is a requirement from November 2023 this year. How that happens will be the key challenge for developers and society as a whole. Biodiversity actually underpins so much of what we are and what we do.
So why do city-based businesses and non-rural businesses really need to take account of biodiversity and nature going forward?
So whatever type of business you are involved with, you're going to have to legally soon take into account the impacts of that business on nature. And that sounds like a good thing to me. So whether it's legislation or net zero targets or voluntary targets, this is something that is real and is happening. carbon, as an example, can be done alongside biodiversity. So if we are offsetting carbon and biodiversity together, then the financial case for doing it gets better and better.
That's really interesting to hear. And in fact, we've got people across Knight Frank who are involved as well.
I mean, it's a great breadth that we've got at Knight Frank, but that reflects our breadth of clients. And being able to advise on nature-based solutions, natural capital, is increasingly important to us. Being able to leave a legacy behind what we do here on estates such as this, I think really energises the team. And if you're one of those clients, then we'd love to help.
So these clients are interested in natural capital opportunities and options. What sort of things are they looking into?
Well, providing it aligns with their core objectives, and we have to think creatively sometimes around that, we do look at things like tree planting, carbon sequestration, biodiversity net gain, flood alleviation, water neutrality. The list could go on, but those are some of the things that we're finding clients are asking for help with right now.